Hi guys, so I wasn't going to film today, but I just thought, you know what, I'm now 7.5 weeks pregnant and I just thought I would start a bit of first trimester update. So I thought I would go into how I've been feeling, what my actual symptoms were before I found out, and just a general little chitty chat vlog. It's Wednesday the 18th of December, and Wednesdays is my day off, and today's the first Wednesday in weeks that I literally have got no plans. So I've just been doing my photos for my home guide, which will definitely have been released by the time this video is up, and now you all know why it was delayed so much, because obviously I found out I was pregnant like 3 weeks ago, and then I was pregnant for a good 2 of those weeks without knowing. So I've obviously just been a little bit lazy, a little bit blasé, a little bit just can't really be bothered to do anything. I haven't actually been that tired, which has been good. Don't get me wrong, I've found myself been tired like midday or late at night, but I've not had extreme tiredness, which I know quite a lot of people have had. I wouldn't say I've got any more tired than I normally am. I've had no sickness so far, which I'm very lucky to have not had yet, but I've been told by lots of people that I've still got a very good chance of it coming. So I'm just kind of waiting on that, to see whether it's going to come or not. I've not had any cravings, but I've been absolutely starving. Like, honestly, I've been so hungry. This week has probably calmed down a little bit, but the first 2 weeks, so like when I went to Krakow and then last week, oh my god, I was honestly starving. I think I was eating like 3,000 plus calories a day, and the midwife said to me last week, you know, you're not meant to eat for 2, and I am fully aware that I should not be eating for 2, but I cannot tell you how hungry I actually am. Like, I do feel sick if I don't eat. I haven't obviously yet been sick, but I do get very nauseous if I don't eat. So I've just been wanting like really carby foods, and if I've got something in my head, I have to have it. So last night I saw someone post about mashed potato, and today I'm going to the supermarket after I've been to the gym, and I am literally going to buy just some pre-made mashed potato and have it with some chicken sausages and beans, and I'm literally going to have bangers and mash and beans, because that is what I've got in my head, and that is now what I'm gonna have to eat, or shit will hit the fan. So yeah, I've been all right really. Like, physically nothing's really changed. I'm feeling a bit weightier, but I think that's just because I've been eating so much crap. I feel a bit weightier like around my arms and like my hips and waist. Got a bit of extra tuggage here, but no bump yet, and my boobs are also huge. I think they've definitely grown a cup size. I'm finding it really uncomfortable to wear a bra. So physically I am pretty much fine, but mentally I'm okay. Obviously I'm okay mentally, but before I found out I felt very mentally drained. I don't know whether it was the baby or the fact that I got really drunk when obviously I was pregnant, and I was really hungover and I didn't know what it was, and I literally was hungover for like a week. It was the worst feeling I've ever had. It was honestly just awful. So I don't know whether it was because I was actually pregnant or just because I had a really bad hangover, but ever since then I have felt just not like me. And then obviously 2 weeks later I found out I was pregnant, which made me feel a lot better, because I thought, well, at least there's a bit of an explanation. But I've just felt a bit anxious, but I think it's because nobody really knows. There's literally like 4 people that know, so it's like having to hide it from everybody, hiding it from our family, because we're telling them all on Christmas Day, which is really exciting. I'm just waiting on a personalised baby grow, which is coming through the post. And then obviously I will tell the rest of my friends. So there's only like 2 people that know, just because they've both had babies before and they don't know a lot of other people to tell. So it's just, even though obviously you trust people, you just know that they're around a lot of people all the time, and things can obviously come out by mistake. And then, you know, even if it's an accident, it's then saying, oh, please don't tell anyone. And then obviously it's them telling someone else and then saying, please don't tell anyone though. And it just gets around. And obviously, because our families don't know, we just decided that we weren't really going to tell anybody until the family knew, because we didn't want them to find out through someone else. So it's obviously been hard keeping it from people at work. We had our Christmas do last weekend and I didn't drink. I think I blended it quite well, but then obviously when we got moving on to like the bars and we were all like sat at a table and people were shotting, I didn't join in, and it was just a bit of a weird thing to not be able to explain. But then all I kept telling myself was, you know, you'll be able to explain it one day around Christmas. Obviously we'll be able to tell everyone why I was being a bit of a boring cow, and why I was just drinking water towards the end of the night, because I blended it by having fake gin and tonics when we went out for the meal, which was fine. But then I was just sick of drinking like flavoured like tonics and juice. My teeth just felt awful and I just literally wanted to drink water. So when we went to the bar, I actually just sat and drank a pint of water. So yeah, all in all, so far, fingers crossed, my first trimester has been really, really well. I know obviously it's still early days, so I haven't really got excited, to be honest. I keep thinking every day, like, what if something happens? Like, just holding out for that 12 weeks, really. Obviously, I know I've had a scan, and on that early scan, she said that the baby looks healthy, it's got a healthy heartbeat, it's got no fluid around it, which is a very good sign, apparently. My midwife said, like, obviously my BMI is pretty much perfect, my health is great, my family history health is great. So she just said there would obviously be a very low chance of something happening, but we can't rule it out. So I'm just not ruling it out, and I think that's just why I'm just not letting myself get too excited. I still have to try and convince myself that there is actually something in there sometimes. It's a little bit weird. But I've got a few of the pregnancy apps, and my favourite one is the one called Pregnancy Plus, and it's by Philips, and it basically just says how many weeks you are. So I'm 7 weeks and 4 days, and then there's just like a little image every week of how the baby looks. So that is currently how my baby looks. And then you can sort of just like, I'll let you focus, like spin it round. You see its little heart beating in the middle. And then like that's what it'll look like next week, and then the week after. So it just starts to look more and more like a baby every week. I find it crazy how quickly it grows as well. So this week it weighs 1 gram, but within 3 weeks it's going to weigh 7 grams. Like, it's literally going to grow 6 grams in 3 weeks. That, I just find that crazy. And then obviously, like, there's this little size thing, so it's saying like the baby is the size of a raspberry, or you can change it to sweets, so size of a gummy bear. It's just a nice little app to keep track. You can even choose your favourite baby names. So there's like lists of all the different countries, and then there's favourites there, which I'll quickly look away because that will be for a separate video. Then there's just some images, so that's how a scan would look if I was to have one again now. So definitely starting to look a bit more like a baby rather than just a little pea. And then there's me, so there's my belly, so that's how my belly is looking right now. And then I can add an image myself, which I will do at the end of this week to finish off the end of month 2, sorry. So I took one when I first found out, and that is there. So that's in my first month, and then that's month 2, and I haven't yet added a picture, so I'm going to do that this weekend. But yeah, I just wanted to be as open and honest about pregnancy as I could. I think a lot of mums get very anxious about, you know, the chance of miscarriage, and I think when you go to the toilet you're sort of looking for blood, which sounds really awful, but you just are. And I think in a way it's a good way to be, because if you are just so oblivious to that and it happens, and I think it would just hit you so hard. I mean, obviously it would be absolutely devastating, but I think it sort of prepares you for it. And I think that's why mentally you do torture yourself a little bit, because you just think, well, I think you convince yourself that you'll be prepared for it because you haven't really got that excited. And so I think it's a lot of anxiousness. Like, I speak to a lot of new mums, and in the first 12 weeks, I think it's just a very anxious time. I haven't changed anything though. I've still been going to the gym when I want to. I've still been doing cardio when I want to. I've pretty much been eating everything the same as what I eat. I just take some Pregnacare vitamins, which are like the ones. I take one of them a day and an extra vitamin D tablet. I try to have as much protein as what I had before, but some meals I'm avoiding. Some days I want to eat chicken, and some days the thought of eating chicken just makes me feel a little bit sick, to be honest. So it just really depends what mood I'm in. But I think I wanted to be as open as honest, but I think in a way I've actually had it quite easy, because I haven't had the sickness, I haven't had extreme tiredness, and I don't have another child to look after either. So I think when you're pregnant with your second or your third or your fourth, I think it's obviously a lot harder, because you've also got somebody else to look after, which I don't have. And I'm very fortunate that I only really work 3 full days away from home, so I can sort of catch up on sleep when I want it. So that's probably why I'm not that tired, because I'm probably having like 8 to 10 hours sleep a night, which is perfect. Couldn't ask for anything more. So what I'm going to do is check in with you in a few weeks, maybe around like week 10, 11, and then just see how I'm feeling then. I could be really sick and really tired, but we'll see. I'm always going to be honest, so hopefully, fingers crossed, the sickness doesn't arrive, because I just don't think I'm going to look forward to it if it does. But hey guys, so I just thought I would check in, because I last checked in December. I am now 11 weeks and 5 days pregnant, so I have got my 12-week scan tomorrow. So it's just basically a little update on how I'm feeling. So in my physical self, I feel absolutely fine. I've still had absolutely no sickness, and I haven't been that tired. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had a few naps here and there, but I've not had like the extreme tiredness that I hear a lot of women and girls get. So I do feel very, very lucky in that respect. Like, I feel like I've had like a really easy first trimester. The only thing is that I do have, like, I wouldn't necessarily say cravings, but I've just got a weird taste buds. So I've gone completely off chicken. I can't remember if I said this last time or not. If I have, then I will actually edit it out. I last filmed this, I've just checked now, I last filmed this in December, on it literally 4 weeks ago. So I'm not sure what it actually says, but I've completely gone off chicken, I've gone off eggs, and I've gone off vegetables. So I'm just wanting carbs all the time, like sandwiches, pasta, toast, fruit. Like, I'm a big lover of fruit, which obviously is a really good thing. Fruit does hold a lot of sugar, natural sugar obviously, and it's not something that I would usually eat a lot of when sort of, not necessarily dieting, but just in my average day-to-day life. I usually just tend to eat like blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. But at the minute I've literally been eating like grapes, oranges, apples, which is absolutely fine, because it means that I'm getting the nutrients in, so I'm not really that bothered about the sugar. But yeah, physically wise, I've been absolutely fine. I've still been training like 4 times a week, still been doing cardio, and to be honest, I don't really feel that pregnant. So it's a bit of a scary thing, because you don't have the sickness to remind you that you're pregnant. I don't have that extreme tiredness to remind me that I'm pregnant. My boobs, the soreness has calmed down a lot. They're still like a little bit sensitive touch, but they've really calmed down. So I know obviously if you've been pregnant before and you've suffered from sickness, then if you're watching this video, I do feel bad, but I also think it's good for me to share how other people also feel. So I think sometimes not having symptoms is quite scary, because I've literally just thought to myself, what if I'm actually not pregnant anymore, or what if the baby's heartbeat stopped? And it's such an awful thing to think about, but it does cross my mind nearly every single day. And I guess it's made me a little bit anxious, really, because like I've had a lot of friends who've had really bad sickness, and they said as awful as it was, it is reminding you that you have got a baby. And people that have had like extreme tiredness, again, it's awful, but it's kind of reminding you that there is something there. So because I physically don't actually feel that pregnant, there is just that little bit of like doubt in my mind. But fingers crossed, tomorrow when we go to the scan, and hopefully everything will be okay, that I'll start to feel a lot better about it in general. Like, I think I kind of feel like, how can I be pregnant when I don't have any physical side effects apart from the food, and my sense of smell is still quite strong. I can smell like bodily odours very strongly, and perfumes and cleaning products and things like that. So they really are the only two symptoms that I have, physical symptoms that I've got. Also mentally, I'm feeling a little bit better than I was when I first found out I was pregnant. I would just say that the anxiety is just kind of getting worse, because I thought, oh, maybe my sickness will come at like 7 to 8 weeks, and obviously it hasn't at all. And my tiredness, I was really tired over Christmas, but I was really ill, and obviously when you're pregnant you can't take anything for like a cough or a cold other than paracetamol, so it did take a long time for the bug to get out of my system. So I think that really is where the tiredness came from. I don't think I was physically that tired, and I know everyone is completely different, and it's not even to do with the fact that I'm healthy. I think it's just obviously the way that my body is reacting to pregnancy. I've also had friends who have had no symptoms, so it does make me feel that little bit better. But Google is currently my best friend and my worst enemy at the minute. I'm on Google all the time, and sometimes I read things I really don't want to hear, and other times I read things that kind of reassures me a little bit. So if you're watching this vlog and you are pregnant and you feel like you're just Googling everything, or you're doubting everything, then honestly you are not alone. The amount of times that I've spoke to people and they said, you know, that a miscarriage crossed their mind every day, and it's just something that literally does cross your mind, and it sounds so awful, and obviously you want to be really positive, but you just do not know the outcome. So the last time I filmed part of this vlog, the battery on the camera died, so this is 2 days later. It's now Saturday the 18th of January. Yesterday we had our 12-week scan. It's classed as like the day-in scan. They've said that we were 11 weeks and 5 days yesterday, so we're 11 weeks and 6 days today. I was going to do a whole video on the 12-week scan and do like a full vlog. I took my camera in my bag with me, but we got there a little bit early, and I was about to get my camera out and start filming in the car, and then because we kind of had to rush back to work after, well, we needed to get back to work like as soon as we could, so we just like went in and thought, oh, they might see us early, and they actually got us in 10 minutes before, so it did work out better. And then by the time I was in there, like I just honestly did not feel like getting my camera out. It just wasn't that sort of atmosphere. Like, the room's really dark, it's really small, there was 2 women in there, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like filming it, to be honest. So unfortunately there is not like a proper 12-week scan vlog, but I will show you now the pictures that we got from the scan. So I was really apprehensive and a little bit nervous, but something told me that everything was going to be alright. And she looked at the baby before she turned the screen round to us, and straight away she just said, there's its little heartbeat, and I just felt so relieved. And then she turned the screen round straight away. She said it was one of the easiest scans that she's ever done, and she was like, I wish they were all that quick. So this is our little baby. So you can see that's like the stomach, its leg, and she was like, oh, he's waving at you. that's the hand there. I don't know why I'm saying he, we don't know what the sex is. And then this is the other picture. So we've only got 2 pictures because she said it's a really active baby and she was finding it really hard to like get like a full length picture because it just kept moving, which apparently is a good sign of having an active baby. So then this is the other one. So the straight line that runs through the middle is the spine, and then you can just see like there's a little hand above its face. So yeah, all is good. She showed us like the 2 parts of its brain. It's already split into like 2 parts, which I just find absolutely crazy. My bladder was a little bit too full, although I'd only emptied it like 45 minutes before, and they tell you not to empty it for an hour before, but I just kind of forgot. So then I downed loads of water, and she said my bladder was too full, but she managed to still she was going to say to me that I needed to go and empty my bladder a little bit, but she managed to get some good pictures. So we're actually having the baby at Barnsley Hospital. So the ultrasound scans just come in like these little folder things. You do actually have to pay for scans. I'm not sure if anyone who's having a baby or hasn't had the 12-week scan yet or hasn't had a baby yet and wants one, you do actually pay for your scan, which obviously there's nothing wrong with doing that. I do get that if they were printing these out every single day, it's going to cost them a lot in ink and printer paper. So yeah, we then had to meet another midwife after. She did like a health check, weighed me, like checked my BMI, which is pretty much a lot of bullshit to me, but obviously I've got a healthy BMI. And then they just told me that I'm going to be midwife led because I've got no problems, I've got no complications, I've got no health issues, that run through the family. So I think people that have like diabetes, people that are overweight, people that have smoked before, people that have drank a lot, I think they usually have to meet a doctor, but I'm just literally going to be midwife led until obviously the birth, unless something goes wrong, which hopefully it won't. So that was also a good sign. Again, she took my bloods for all the Down syndrome testing and things like that, which, you know, I'm not gonna be getting rid of a baby just because of those things, but I think it's nice to know. Also, just quickly before I end this vlog, I have a really rare negative blood type, and they've had to take blood from me to then try and work out the blood of the baby because Josh is positive. So if my baby has a positive blood, my body will start to attack the baby, which is really strange. So I've been given this leaflet to read up on, and if my baby does have a positive blood, then I will have to have something called anti-D injections. So if any of you that are watching this have had an experience in that before, it would be good to let me know. So my mum was a negative blood, but I'm negative, obviously. My dad is a negative blood. Me and my dad have the same blood type, and my grandma. Grandma's mum had a baby, and he actually died because it was obviously like 85 years ago, and they didn't understand like all these positive and negative bloods. Obviously they couldn't even work it out back then either, and basically her mum's body had been attacking the baby, and he made it full term and made it to birth, came out, and he was just basically just didn't really have an immune system because her immune system had attacked his. So now obviously it's a lot more advanced and we can work all these things out. So I've just got to wait for the results of that. And like I said, if the baby's got a negative blood like me, then we're absolutely fine. But if the baby's got a positive blood, I've got to have these anti-D injections. So I will be ending this vlog now. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Sorry if it's been a little bit boring. It literally was just more of a chatty vlog, and I'm sorry for not doing like a proper vlog on the 12-week scan, but I wanted to be as honest as possible in this pregnancy journey, and I just didn't feel like doing it at all. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. There's a lot more videos coming from me to do with pregnancy and just the lead up into having your first baby. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.